Oftentimes street addresses are recorded differently in different databases. That could be because one database might store the full address and the other database might have only the abbreviations for some of the names, like instead of writing the highway they might write just HWY and etc. To map that, we can use Microsoft add-in called fuzzy lookup, and to see how to use it, let's look at the following example. In this example, we have two tables. One on the left is a blue table with only 5 rows, and all of those 5 rows are in that orange table on the right. And our goal will be to find the phone numbers in the blue table based on the street address. And just an example, let's look at the first row. In the blue table, it's recorded as a 5655 Sam Houston North. In the orange table, it's recorded as 5655E Sam Houston Parkway N. It's not 100% match, and we need to somehow map them and retrieve the phone numbers. To do that, first of all, let's look at the how to download the fuzzy lookup add-in. We need to go to the Microsoft website, or just type in the fuzzy lookup in the Google, search for it, and make sure to download it from the official Microsoft.com website. Click download, save it. Once it's downloaded, open it, install, accept, install, no need to open it, finish, close. Now, to be able to see it here, we need to close the Excel file and open it again. So close it and open it again. Now we see a new tab, it's called fuzzy lookup. Before using it, we need to make sure that these two tables are stored as a table values in the Excel. To do that, we need to click on that table, use the shortkey Ctrl L, click OK, make sure that my table has headers is selected, OK. And once it's converted to table, you'll see a new tab, which is a table design. From here we can rename the table to whatever we like. I'll just rename it to table blue, and the same here, Ctrl L, OK, and rename it to table orange. Now let's open a new sheet, go to the fuzzy lookup tool, open it. Once it's open, you can select your left table, the table that is missing the values, and the right table, the table that contains all of the values, the orange table. So right now it's selected correctly. The left table is the blue table and the right table is the orange table. Below that we have all of the column names of the blue table and all of the column names on the orange table. And we need to select street address to street address and click this button to tell the fuzzy lookup that we need to look up the values based on these two columns. By default, fuzzy lookup tries to match it based on the column names, as long as the column names in both tables are matching. But in this case, I'll just delete the default match because I want to do it, customize it. What I want to do is to select the street address to street address, click this. See, right now it's matching street address to street address, the left column and right column. The next criterion will be, I usually do the state, match it. I usually don't do the matching based on city name and zip codes, because if a location is located in a small city right next to the big city like Stafford and Houston, then some people might use Stafford and some people might use Houston for the city name, and because of that I just skip that. And same with the zip codes, sometimes they might use one zip code in their website, and if you look it up from the Google Maps it's a little different, that's why I skip it. So we have only two criteria to match, the street address and the state. Next, we have an option to select which columns we want to retrieve. So from the table blue, all of them, and the table orange, all of them as well. From the next one, we can choose how many rows we want to retrieve from the table on the right that is present on the table on the left. So for example, let's say we have one location in the blue table and they have 5 different locations that are very similar, like they have 90% matching in the column orange. And we can say we want to retrieve all 5 of them or just one of them. So I'll leave it at 1, and the next one is the matching percentage. What should be our criteria? 0.6 means as long as it's 60% matching, the street address and the state, then look them up. After that, click OK. So here we have our blue table with 5 rows. Let me just quickly highlight it. On the right we have our orange table values that are approximately matching our blue table rows. So let me highlight it with orange. And the last column is the similarity between those two tables. Make it the percentage values and expand the street address. So for example, let's look at the first row. 5655 Sam Houston North and 5655 E Sam Houston Parkway North. So they are 71% matching, and if you look at it, it's actually the same address, just recorded differently. So let me flag it as a yes, that it's same address. So let's look at the second one. One on the left is 15003 Tomball Parkway and one on the right is 13003 Tomball Parkway. So even if they have 97% similarity rate, you can see that they are two different addresses. So let's flag them no for now. The next one has 89% similarity, and the only difference here looks like the left one has the full address with the road at the end, and the one on the right has the abbreviated version of the road. Okay, this one is the same. Next one is 4122 Freeway, and the other one is 4122 LBJ Freeway. So I think it's the same address. Yes, and the last one is 9526. Oh, it actually has 100% similarity rate, so it's obviously yes, yeah. From this example, we can see that the fuzzy lookup tool works very well with address mapping, but the only thing that we need to be careful about is the street address number, which needs to be 100% matching because it's a number. As for the second part of the street address, the text value, it could be 70%, 80% matching because of the naming conventions, typo errors, abbreviations, but as for the numbers part, it needs to be 100% matching. And right now we have only 5 rows, and we could go row by row and check them, but in real life we usually have hundreds or thousands of rows and we don't have time to check them all. What I usually do is write a formula that retrieves the number values from the left part of the street address from table on the right, and do the same on the table on the left, and make sure that those two values are matching 100%. So let me insert the column here and one right here. And instead of writing the formula, I'll just copy it from my notes, paste it here. Okay, it works. Control C to copy it, Control V to paste it, and Control D to drag it down. Copy this, paste it right in front of the street address. And as you can see, it's retrieving only the number values from the left part of the street address. So if you have the apartment number or the suite number, for example 54, it will ignore it. And this is what we need, because some people will record the suite number and some people might forget to record it. Next I will let me close this. Next I will create another formula that will check if those two values are 100% matching. So I4 equal to B4, which is true. Control down to drag it down, and let me name it as a address num match, highlight it as a green. And another best practice will be to make sure that the state names are matching 100%, because I saw the cases when the street addresses are matching but they are located in different states. So let me delete this one and create state name match, and do the same. This equal to this, control down, and in the end I'll create another column just to flag if it's an actual matching location. So it's the same column, and for all of my matching criteria columns I'll filter them all to true. Make sure that this one is true as well and mark it as yes. Control down, unfilter everything and filter to falses, mark it to no. For the yeses in this column, I assume it's correct after all of our filters and matching criteria, and I'll go to the no's, which is usually less than 5% of all the transactions, and make sure those no's are actual no's. So for example here, because of the way this formula is created, if I put a space after the 13, it will retrieve only the 13. So I need to make sure there is no spaces and adjust it accordingly. And that's it. After that, we'll just need to filter it to yes. And here we have the phone numbers that are needed for these rows. I hope example was clear and useful. I used the addresses as an example, but you can use the same logic for other things like the pupil names. When in one database it's recorded as a first name then last name, in the other database it's recorded as last name, middle name, and then first name. If you want the Excel file, I will share a link to download in the description below. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below, and see you in the next video.